Welcome back. Okay, we're going to be doing some painting tonight. I'm so excited. I'm a little disheveled. My hair is not cooperating today. You know, we all have bad hair days. My hair can't be perfect every day, you know? Just like my painting skills, they can't be flawless every day. And that's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. So, I have some fun flute music on. I've been working on this for a few minutes now, and we're gonna do a little bit of a paint along. So this would be the time to pull out, you know, a project that you've put in the corner of your room, you know, or maybe that Word document that you know you should be writing, or that creative, you know, piece of literature that you need to get done. You know, it's winter break, you know, pull it out. Pull out your creative endeavors and start working on them, you know? I can't be the only artist in the room. There has to be some other artists around here that also want to do some creative stuff. So do it, you know? I'm not judging you. I can't even see what you're working on. So, you know, might as well. Okay. That being said, I do actually need to get painting. Right now, I am kind of adding a little bit of like a baroque flair to this painting because of the kind of line work, and it's getting a little like the fabric is getting really ruffly, the pose is getting dramatic, the hair is being blown. It's like Venus when she was being born. It's like a Raphael, and I kind of like it. It's like a freaking Botticelli over here. So, okay. Yeah. I also, side note before I actually I'll paint along and just talk. I got some new books, and they aren't gonna arrive for a little while now, but I definitely will show them off when they get here. And one of them is a massive, almost 600-page like monograph of Monet's paintings. Now I have this baby one, I have this small one, and I love it. And in fact, I was just looking at, before turning this camera on, I was looking at this painting that I love, and it's Monet's turkeys. You're gonna get a kick out of this. Look at that. Aren't they cute? They're just out in the lawn, kind of vibing, and I love it. Here's an up close of one of them. One of those little cuties. So, I read this whole like section to myself, and I guess this kind of caused a little bit of a ruckus when it was exhibited. Let me read this to you. So they say, this is a quote from the book. This is just called Monet, His Life and Complete Works. Well, clearly it's not his complete works because it's a small book and they did not get every work in here. They say, okay. We'll start from this paragraph. To do his painting, the artist installed himself looking up at the meadow on the banks of the Eure, and so a seesaw movement seems to distance the perspective, at the end of which we see the mansion even more. We shall find those distant pink facades charged with mystery again later in the work of Dugov, du Nunquois, and Magritte. That domain beneath a stormy sky does not evoke the events of the summer. It seems ready to fade away over the horizon even before a lien on the property came to tear it away from the Hashid family. Here's the quote. Quote, the turkey's unfinished panel, as described in the catalog for the Third Impressionist exhibition in 1877, unleashed a coarse mockery at the show. Quote, that clever, deliciously executed decoration, as delicious as the most unexpected Japanese drawings, provoked hoots of laughter, unquote. Octave Mirbeau recalled in his notes sur l'art. But the work represents a peak of Monet's art, both because of his plastic splendor and because of that strangeness that seems to be a prelude to the discoveries of surrealism. I love that. And I love Monet for doing that. So I think adding a little bit of that surrealism to any painting just makes it more unique, and it takes the edge off it. You guys know a lot of my paintings are are on the spookier side. You know, they're just kind of like very dark. Not their subject matter necessarily, but usually the sitter is just bathed in this like dark background, kind of like my videos. Very chiaroscuro, right? But adding a little bit of that brushwork and a little bit of the calligraphy with your brushwork and brushstrokes and whatnot, I think can add just a hint of playfulness and kind of imitating this flute music with the play between light and dark. Not so serious, not everything has to be so perfectly molded and rendered, you know. You can keep a little bit of the whimsy of the brush strokes in there. So that's the game plan for this. I don't want it to look hyper realistic. I don't want it to look unfinished, but I want it to still retain a little bit of that sketchiness, you know? Just in some areas I want the brush strokes to be looser, you know, and to kind of collect in have bundles of brushstrokes, but like not like an overwhelming, like I don't want the canvas to be like caked up with like an overwhelming globs of pigment. You know, it's like no need for that, you know. I want the canvas to breathe. So fun. Okay. Enough talk. Time to paint. And I hope you are too. If not, that's okay. I'm not actually gonna get angry. Maybe I will a little, but not a lot. But isn't that such a pervasive thing these days? Is a lot of contemporary artists like they like practically torture themselves over the canvas to achieve this like, oh, you can't even see the brushstrokes, like it's so perfect, you know? It's practically printed off. And that sounded a little sarcastic, didn't it? Okay, I don't want to put anyone's art down. That's not what I'm here to do. Because we all need more artists. I'm just saying, I don't think I could ever be one of those artists who like literally practically prints off oil paintings and has such convincing brushwork that it looks like it doesn't even exist as a painting, you know? And I don't think I can operate in that sphere. I think I'm not cut out for that. And I will continue to be in awe at their talent for making such a hyper-realistic painting. I mean, honestly, it is an achievement. But that's not what we're here to do. I think I'm here to make paintings that one can easily approach as paintings, you know. And it's hard to describe, but I've always been really attracted to work that can blend, and you know the artist who does this really well, Ingres does this incredibly well, but who can blend an element of realism, and then at the next moment have kind of an explosion of different brushstrokes and a frenzy of different like materials and mediums and techniques, so that you get, oh, and Klimt does this too, and actually Yoshitaka Amano does this probably the very best, where his faces are like crisp and defined and really painstakingly rendered, and then the garments of these sitters are just, you know, explosive. You know, they have all these different textures on them, and he just goes in such depth, and it's satisfying. It's a satisfying way of painting or sketching or whatever, because I don't know, it's like you get the best of both worlds. You get a really crisp painterly face, and then you get this, I don't know, like it just looks awesome. It really does. I can't even describe it, which is the great thing about art. Often great art you can't even describe because it's so good. Pardon me. Okay. I think I'm being a little naughty. I worked a lot on this off screen, and so now I just want to take a break and talk with you guys. And I don't think that's probably the most responsible thing to do. But whatever. I kind of like paint thinner a lot because it makes oil paints like almost like watercolors. You know, you can kind of layer them. They're almost like gouache because when you get paint thinner, you know, you can just let it dry and then you can go in with the next detail and stuff. And I like that a lot. It will be a trick to do the first kind of impasto layer on here. I'm not looking forward to that. I always get I don't know, I get nervous when I have to put on the first layer of just like straight up oil paint, because oil paint is it's so malleable, you know? It's hard to contain. You know who impresses me the most? It's those freaking alla prima painters like Sargent, who just laid on all the pigment at once and then just kind of squished it around until it looked beautiful. I mean, how do people do that? Those types of people are mad in the best way. So, props to you if you do alla prima. Could never. Have tried it several times. Could never do that. Sometimes I'm even so bad, I need to do like a charcoal sketch and then I do, you know, like a prep in acrylic, and then over the acrylic I start my oil paints. So craziness if you try and just do freehand. Now with watercolor, I'm different though. Watercolor, it's pretty easy to work wet on wet. Guys, I'm out of time. Shoot, no, just checked. I'm already at like almost 12 minutes. No. Okay, that's so abrupt. Oh well, I'll talk about watercolor paints another time. I hope everyone who's watching is well and isn't sick. I'm still a little sick, but I feel on the mend. I think I'm gonna get better soon. Pardon me. Okay, that's a wrap. Yes, I'll keep working on this later. See you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, happy to have you in the community. If you liked it here, feel free to stay, and to the people who regularly watch, so happy to have you back. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.